Wake up! Stop sleeping on yourself!
You know, I want to prove somebody wrong, but if you're not willing to put in the work, you're never going to change.
I'm talking to that preacher. I'm talking to that person who refuses to stay where they are. I'm talking to that person that doesn't have a problem laying in obscurity, because you know that when you come out of the dark room, all eyes on you. I've got to finish strong. I've got to condition myself. I've got to get out of bed. I've got to go to the gym. I got to eat clean. Nobody's going to feed me. I got to feed myself.
It is time to make sacrifices that many people will not make. It is time to rise and grind.
Where could you be right now if you weren't so lazy?
Are you willing to be the hardest worker in the room?
It's not going to be easy. These are the things that should scare you. Looking at yourself in the mirror each day and not liking the reflection you see staring back at you.
You want to lose the weight? You want to reach your target, your aim? You got to put the work in. You got to be willing to do what 98% of the people in this world are unwilling to do. You gotta eat differently. You gotta work differently. You gotta think differently. You gotta walk differently. If you want next level, everything you do has to change.
There is no more time to waste.
The thing about transformation is you have to do it. You've got to put in the work when nobody cares.
You can change your circumstances and you can change your life. You have the power to do anything you want to do. You just need to be willing to do things differently than you've done before.
You gotta feed yourself the food that is required to power the body that you want. It's not about trying to be a lone ranger more than it is about taking responsibility and prioritizing yourself first.
Now what are you gonna do? You're gonna worry? You're gonna cry? You're gonna give up because it's hard? Who said it's supposed to be easy?
But if you want to change your life, you'll need to do what's right, not what's easy. Too many people choose the easy road even when they know it's not the right road. Take the path less traveled.
Mediocrity is everywhere right now. And we're all trying to find an easy way out. That's the mediocrity of life. It's like, I worked myself so hard that I turned a person this up into this mother right here.
We got to take responsibility, and we have to pay the price of results. Count up the costs and pay the price. And hear me well, nobody's going to pay it for you.
Be the hardest worker in the room. You go after what you want. You fight for what you believe in. You push with everything you got. You go 110%. And you wake up.
So in order to change something, to arrive at a new vision of your future, you'd have to change something about yourself in order to get there. And you'd have to change the way you think, the way you act, and the way you feel.
If you're not willing to work, if you're not willing to sacrifice, if you're not willing to hurt, if you're not willing to bleed, if you're not willing to struggle, then you're not going to get what you want.
You have to put in the effort. You have to put in the time. You have to put in the blood, the sweat, the tears. If it doesn't sting a little bit, if it doesn't burn a little bit, if it doesn't make you a little uncomfortable, you probably won't get very much out of it.
You gotta move your body. You gotta change your energy and your focus. Like, if you're not happy, you either have to change your life or change your blueprint.
I've got to be willing to do the uncomfortable things consistently that I don't want to do.
You're already in it now. All you got to do is keep going through it. And when you start to feel weak, find a way to be strong. Don't let weakness overcome your power. Don't let weakness tell you what to do. Don't let weakness say that it's over. Just because you are depleted doesn't mean you are defeated.
What were you placed here to do? Get to work, get to work, get to work.
Each and every day, you're executing some type of game plan. That game plan is either going to lead you to massive success or massive failure.
It's like, okay, what am I going to do with what life has brought me?
It starts inside of you. You don't know who you are. And it's not easy.
Like when you make the decision now about who you're choosing to be the next year, the next 3 years, the next 5 years, you're actually saying, count me in.
So you keep fighting. You keep pushing. Make sure every rep, make sure every mile, make sure every breath you take counts for something. And if you fall down, you better get up.
Everybody wants destiny. Everybody wants manifestation. Everybody wants fulfillment. Everybody wants the next level in the relationship and a higher quality of living. But nobody wants to eliminate distractions. Nobody wants to disappear for 3 months, 4 months, 6 months and get into a place where you can focus on just you. What if you could just shut out every distraction? What if you could just shut out the world for just a season and focus on you? A man is rewarded in public for what he does in private. Can you unplug for just a moment and focus on you? Focus on what matters. Why are you here? What is your destiny? The reason why you don't see it, the reason why it has not manifested, the reason why you are so frustrated is because you have not been willing to forsake all that you've been called to forsake and to follow through behind closed doors. Sure, you can talk about it. Sure, you can plan it. Sure, you can write it down. Sure, you can go to the conference and hear about it. You can read about it. But at some juncture, you have to disappear and put the work in and come back and shock everybody that doubted you. I'm talking to that man, that woman, that boy, that girl who feels the fire in their belly. It's time for you to shock the world. You may have to sleep in your car. You may have to go without food. You may have to bounce around from couch to couch. You may have to sacrifice like nobody in your family ever has. But can you do it behind the scenes when nobody's looking, when nobody's watching, when nobody understands the measure of passion that you carry? Can you keep going? Don't stop. You're right there. We live in a culture of busyness, distraction, and noise. And sometimes the only way something's going to change is if we disappear. Sometimes you gotta delete the app. Sometimes you have to walk away. Sometimes you have to fall back into the dark room and focus on you.